Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Rangers Review morning briefing for Friday, the 13th of May. I'm Derek Clark. I'm joined this morning by Johnny McFarlane.
I could only wish I was as handsome as Mr. Barry, or as erudite and tactically knowledgeable. Unfortunately, I'm not. I will try my best to replicate. I suspect our viewers will know the difference, but there we go.
So many comments coming in already. We'll get to those shortly, but a bit of housekeeping before we start, folks. Remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, just to hit that subscribe button. It means you'll never miss a video when we go live. And also, if you want to take advantage of the Rangers Review site just now, we've got an absolutely sensational offer just now. It's £6 for 6 months worth of content. Now, not only that, you also get entered into a prize draw to win two Europa League final tickets for the big one against Sevilla on Wednesday night. It is absolutely huge. Now, that prize draw is also open to current subscribers. You should have an email in your inbox with regards to how to apply for that. But if you want details on how to subscribe, just head over to rangersreview.co.uk/subscribe. And we also have a great new sponsor on the website as well. I'll give you a quick rundown of that just now. It's One Football app. Absolutely sensational app. One of the biggest in the world at the moment, fastest growing. As you can see there, you can keep track of Rangers scores, whoever they're playing, team lineups, live tracker. So if you're not able to make the game, you can keep up to date with all that's going on, and not just Rangers as well. You can keep up to date with a whole host of other clubs. You basically get an insight on what's going on elsewhere as well. It really is a sensational app that's out there at the moment. Totally free as well. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's the One Football app. So as you can see, there are a host of great content on there. So we very much urge you to go and check it out with whatever provider you go with regards to that. So it's the One Football app. Right, Johnny, let's talk all things Rangers then. So many comments come in, folk. We'll try and get to as many of those as possible. The excitement very much building ahead of Wednesday. It's easy to forget there's a match tomorrow, Johnny. But in terms of that game next week, Rangers held a media day yesterday. A number of players were put up, along with Giovanni van Bronckhorst and Stuart Robertson, of course. Now, I think the big, as well as looking ahead to the game, of course, Stuart Robertson, was creating a bit of controversy, you could say, and upset amongst supporters with regards to potential beanbags back at Ibrox. Doesn't look like likely that will happen. I believe there's going to be an update later on this afternoon with regards to fan zones in Sevilla. And Johnny, with so many thousands of Rangers fans heading out to the Spanish city, it's some sort of fan zone, you'd imagine, has to be laid on for those supporters that are not making the game. Of course, only 9,500 tickets dished out to both sets of clubs. There's going to be a lot of Rangers fans and Frankfurt fans wandering the streets if there's not a sort of a fan zone laid on.
Yeah, no, there will be a fan zone laid on. There will be at least one. I suspect possibly more, given the volume of people that are going to be there. So I'm not concerned about that. I have to say, I was very surprised when Joshua sent me the audio from Stuart Robertson's interview yesterday, and I played it, and I could hear, and I heard him say no fan zone, or certainly very unlikely. That was the quote, very unlikely. I was just so shocked that Rangers wouldn't want to do this, primarily because the club has been so good in terms of maximising its commercial opportunities since the new board came in. I mean, they've really put a lot of work into that. James Bisgrove has been hugely influential in trying to boost that for the club. And this year, I think they're well on target to hit that 27 million that they aimed for, which was, I thought, aggressive when I heard it. But now it looks like it's going to be comfortably hit. I spoke to James Bisgrove when I was at Ibrox recently, and he said, don't think we're going to have any problem hitting that target. I thought that the club would fall over themselves to put the game on the big screens and get 35,000 or however many you can get into Ibrox that can see the screens. at £10 a head. Fill the place up, get fans in an hour before the game or an hour and a half before the game, have events in the concourses, all the money that would come from souvenir programs, from scarf sales, from food and drink, I would have thought that would have been £1 million quite comfortably. So I'm very surprised, but as you say, we understand that there's more detail to this to come, and that it may actually be other factors involved. I'm speculating, but perhaps Glasgow City Council feel that to police an event like that would take away from resources in other parts of the city. And we all know that should Rangers win the Europa League, that there will be events in the city, all over the city, because there'll be celebrations unlike any other celebrations I think that we've seen before because of the size and scale of this. So perhaps the police are thinking, well, if they lift the cup, then we don't really want to have a load of officers over at Ibrox, and then we're going to have to get over to George Square, and perhaps that's what they're thinking. I'm not sure. Again, I'm speculating, but it does seem like there's going to be a difficulty from what Stuart Robertson said with regards to this event. He said, number one, the staff are all away in Seville, and the kind of staff you would need to run the event, which I was surprised by again, because I think you can hire an external company if that's the case to put something on like this. I don't know what you thought about it, Derek. I mean, were you surprised hearing those comments?
Yes. I mean, we'll know more about it today, Johnny, of course. Yeah. I believe a statement is going to come out sort of explaining the situation. But yes, I've got to say even down south, just recently, Wigan held a beanback at their DW stadium when they went and won the league away from home. And it wasn't, I don't know what the logistics are of putting something like this on, but from an outsider, the benefits far outweigh the sort of problems that it may pose. And like you said, 2008, they held it when Rangers played Zenit in Manchester.
Yes.
Hugely popular for a lot of fans who can't make it over to Seville. It's a money earner, like you say, selling programmes and what have you, food and drink outside the ground, inside. It seems a no-brainer for me. But I guess the explanation that will come out later on might explain why his comments sort of ring true with regards to there's going to be nothing on. I just feel desperately disappointed for the fans that are not heading out, Joy. I think there's so many. The Rangers fan base is colossal. I mean, we just had a comment up there. People watching us from Sydney. There's a subscriber heading over from Australia to the game. People are coming from far and wide, and the fan base is huge. I'm sure you'd pack out Ibrox for a beanback.
I think you would, and I understand the Frankfurt one, for example, and it's important to comment that all four teams all four teams in the finals of the two major events, and the Champions League, Europa League, are having these kind of beanback events. That's certainly what I understand, with the exception of Rangers. And I mean, my reason for saying that it wouldn't be a full Ibrox, Derek, is because there's two major screens already in Ibrox, but you cannot see those screens, in the Sandy Jordan. So you need to be in the main stand, the Bill Struth stand, and I don't even know if you could go all the way in the Copeland stand or in the Broomloan. You would have to probably go up to halfway to make sure you got a decent view. I'm not 100% sure on the logistics of that. So I don't think it would be a full stadium unless you actually installed a massive screen on the pitch down towards the main stand that would allow the people in the opposite one to see it. So, but there's ways and means to do that, mate. And I just can't believe that they wouldn't be able to fill it out. I read the other day that Eintracht Frankfurt's event, the tickets were selling for tenfold their original value. Now, let's be honest, like the Germans, they don't charge a lot for football. I think it's like €10 for a ticket. So they may be only charging €3 or €4 or whatever for this. But I think if Rangers could get 50,000 on Ibrox, they could easily get £10 a ticket and fill that place up and make a decent amount of money. But as you say, we'll find out. It seems very unusual, very unreal, unlike the guys that are in there in terms of the business heads. So I can understand why there's a bit of anger. Certainly, when I tweeted it out yesterday, I've never been told I was a specky hot dog so many times. I don't know if that was aimed at me, at Stuart Robertson, but certainly it was. It wasn't clear, and it was putting a real crimp on my day being called that so many times. So yeah, I was a little bit upset yesterday. I had to crawl into bed and put the sheet over me and curl up in a wee ball, but I was fine. We move on. We forget about these things.
I mean, it's not real life.
It's not real life. Twitter's not a real place. But I think there's a lot of anger even on here amongst the comments, Derek. People
there is, Johnny.
Saying Robertson's flippant attitude towards the no bleem back question was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if it was flippant, Stuart. To be honest, I think it was just maybe that it wasn't a question that he was expecting, and certainly don't think he was expecting the reaction. There's a lot of people that were clearly very, very upset, and understandably, because you want to get together with your fellow fans, don't you, in an event like this, and really celebrate it properly amongst people who really know what it means. And that's where people are going to have been let down if this doesn't go ahead, and it doesn't look like it's going to go ahead now.
Ryan's apologising to you, Johnny.
Don't worry, Ryan. I know. I was only kidding. I know that they're not firing them at me.
Duncan's point is it just shows, it just blows my mind that the Rangers fan base said, Johnny, he says it's still amazing me that a woman from Glasgow has chartered a plane for the final. That's dedication for you. This is something I've seen. I mean, it's absolutely mental. But not, I mean, expected with the Rangers fan base that they'll get there by whatever means possible, and to charter a plane from Glasgow over to Seville is something else. So, amazing. Yep.
Yeah, can I just answer this one? How can Stuart Robertson not be expecting a reaction? Well, the reason that I think that, and I might be totally wrong, but I think it kind of overshadowed all the positive messages that came out of Stuart Robertson's interview. So I would think that if they'd known that it was going to be such a big talking point and kind of take over that Europa League media day in terms of the news, I don't think they would have announced it like that. I think they would have put out a statement saying, this is what's happening and this is the details why. For example, Grant, let me just tell you, the big line for me as a journalist was obviously going to be Rangers had made more money out of the Europa League campaign than they would have if they'd qualified past Malmo. That's what he said. He said, probably we've made more money now than we would have made, right? And that's before, if you win, that takes it to a new level entirely, because it's 8.6 million euros just for winning. And then you get 3.5 million euros just for qualifying for the Super Cup. So it's actually way more than £10 million. Plus, you get Champions League in pot one. So huge, huge, huge money. And he's saying already it's more than that 30 to 40 million pound boon than you would have got, which is massive. That shows you how huge it is, because everyone was saying, Rangers didn't make the Champions League. That's huge. It's going to have a major effect on the budget. And quite rightly, because it clearly did. That was guaranteed money. This was not being guaranteed money. Rangers had to do it the hard way. But that should have been the big line. Unfortunately, the big line becomes about this fan situation, because I think it ties into other concerns that fans have had regarding decisions made by the board, and some fans do feel a little bit like they're kind of not the first priority. And I think that'll be one of the one things Rangers will be looking to address in the summer. I would think to bridge that gap that is kind of still maybe a little bit there. Because listen, the thing is, I've got nothing but praise for the Rangers board. Honestly, I know people might say, that's easy for you to say as a journalist, blah blah blah. But you've got to remember, these guys came in to the mess of all messes. The infrastructure was a mess. The squad was a mess. These guys are all Rangers fans. They're not just Rangers fans. They're massive Rangers fans.
Yeah.
And look at where they are now. If they hadn't magnificently stewarded this club, it would not be where it is today. People always talk about 2012. That wasn't the true recovery of Rangers. The recovery started in 2016.
Yeah.
when the guys that are involved still to this day, and Dave King obviously, came in and wrested the club away from people who were only there to leech off it. So that's 2016. That's 6 years. They've turned it from a shell into a Europa League finalist club. It's hard to criticise that. That's what they've done. That's what they've given the Rangers support. So I think you've got to be very careful about wiring in too much on them.
Yeah.
I understand it, but I do believe from my dealings with them that the Rangers board are Rangers fans who are trying their best. They won't get everything right, but in terms of delivering what most Rangers fans want, which is success on the pitch, well, you can't get much bigger than the Europa League final.
No, you certainly can't. Just touched on that screen before we move on. Craig Marshall makes a point, and I've seen this yesterday on social media. Do what Real Madrid are doing: podium in the centre of the pitch with 4 screens, so you can fill the stadium, one facing each stand. I've seen that, Jake. It looked absolutely magnificent. You've got to say. So I think it's again. Just to touch on, I think there's going to be a statement explaining the situation a little bit more clearer a little later on. So stay tuned to our social media accounts for all the latest on that. Lots of comments coming in here, Johnny. Of course, as I mentioned earlier on, it's easy to forget it's a game tomorrow, the final Premiership match of the season.
It's not that easy to forget. It is a little.
Yeah. Team-wise, I mean, I think the team on Wednesday night against Ross County will be pretty much the team that will take to the field against Frankfurt this coming Wednesday. Saturday, can you see anyone maybe getting minutes? Aaron Ramsey, perhaps, getting a run out?
Well, that's the big question. I think that'll be a huge indicator of the team.
Yeah.
Because if Aaron Ramsey doesn't play, I think that tells us that he'll make it. I don't think he will, mate. I think he'll play on Saturday. On when is it? Saturday or Sunday? What day is it?
Saturday.
I'm losing track of my days. It's tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow the game. I think he'll play tomorrow and he'll be on the bench in the final.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a huge gamble to start him, given the fact that he's been out. Listen, Aaron Ramsey, I think that's a deal that's worked. I'm going to just put my head on the chopping block here, and I know I'm probably going to get about 500 comments in there telling me what you're talking about. But it was peanuts, Aaron Ramsey, to get him into Rangers. Absolute peanuts. And people are talking about his wages at Juventus. You cannot describe the importance of having a guy like that coming into the dressing room and saying, "Believe, lads, we can do this." I was listening to all the audio coming back from the media day yesterday, and it's absolutely clear how focused they are and how confident they are on the win. See, having a world-class operator like Aaron Ramsey at his best, who's seen and done it, is only 31 now. He's basically, alongside Gareth Bale, single-handedly taken Wales to heights none of us have seen in our lifetimes, who's won FA Cups with Arsenal, been at Europa League finals, had the career he's had, won Scudetti with Juventus. I think having him in and around the dressing room would have been massive to that, because Aaron Ramsey doesn't have we're just here to sort of turn up and see how we get on. He doesn't have that attitude. He wants to win. He's been a winner all his career. So I think it's kind of worked in that regard. On the pitch, obviously he's been hit and miss in terms of his injuries, but when he's played, he's been good, and he was good again. He was good again against Ross County, wasn't he? So I like him as a player, and I think while there's been downs to this deal, I think mostly it's been upside given the cost overall. And listen, I get it. People won't agree with that, but I agree with John Dooley there. I'd love to see him remain at Rangers next season, and I would love to see him join forces with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst to try and persuade Gareth Bale to come to Scotland and enjoy the golf courses. Gareth, play as much as you like. We'll get you a membership to the old course. Go on it every day if you want to. If you need to just do that rather than train, that's fine. Trust you to keep yourself in shape.
Not only that, you could guarantee him Champions League football if if results go our way on Wednesday. So there's that as well. So he could play against Real Madrid in the Super Cup against his.
Oh yeah, exactly. Just tantalise that carrot in front of him.
So I mean, team-wise, there's a comment came in with a possible team. I'm not expecting many players that will start on Wednesday to be playing against Hearts. But saying that, Johnny, Hearts have got a huge game a week on Saturday as well, of course, in the Scottish Cup. But I mean, again, that's another game that's easy to forget about. But they won't want to be risking players in that game. I think it's going to be very much a glorified friendly on Saturday. I don't think there'll be any full-blooded tackles being flying in or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there, mate. It's going to be very much I think a straightforward youth game, essentially, with very, very little in the way of hefty challenges and things like that. I really just don't think so. Yeah. If you're looking for a blood and thunder Scottish football match, I don't think you're going to find it in that one, even though it is a warm-up for the cup final. I think it's a great opportunity for Rangers to blood quite a lot of youngsters. I would expect young Devine to play. I thought he was impressive when he came on at the weekend. I would expect, obviously, Charlie McCann to get a chance.
Yes.
Leon King. And I'd love to see Tony Weston. I'd love to see him get a shot up front. So let's see how that pans out. Cole McKinnon, another one. People are talking about Robbie Fraser, Ross McCausland. There's a number. You can't play them all. There needs to be some experience in there to help guide them. But it's not important, let's be honest, Derek. Yeah. It's not important in the slightest. What you want just to do is everyone to come through it, sail through it with no injuries, and you'll be fine. Someone there saying, get Gareth Bale to Dalmuir. Dalmuir, great course. I can't believe that Andrew is slaughtering Clydebank's finest municipal golf course. That's pure form. I've only ever played Dalmuir once, Derek, right? And I played it on my own. During COVID, I was getting very, very into golf, and I've since fallen away, to be honest. But I was so into golf that I was going to golf courses and playing on my own. I was using that golf app that allows you to book within like 5 or 10 minutes. So I went to Dalmuir, and I was just having a nice, relaxing court, 18 holes, going around myself. And I got to the 5th hole, mate, and on the 6th hole, there was these guys drinking cans, like making loads of noise, like no taps off, the tap off, should I say, I'll do it properly. The whole shebang, and I thought, right, I'm going to take my time and go slowly behind these guys. I couldn't have played the 5th slower, mate. I took 40 minutes to play the 5th. I was looking at my phone, I was stopping, I was sizing up every angle of my shots. And as I take my drive it right down the fairway on the 6th, I get to the sort of the where my drive lands, and these jokers are on the bloody green of the 6th. And I'm like, all right. So, there's nothing you can do. They wait for me. They're like, come and join us for a round. Then they want to try and, play for £100 a hole or whatever. I'm terrible at golf, mate. And these guys are pretending they're not very good. The one guy with his taps off, he is an unbelievable golfer. I've never seen a better golfer in my life. He's drinking tinnies. God knows what else he's been taking. He's in shorts and a pair of Nikes, and he's driving the ball 300 yards straight down the fairway. It was incredible. I made my excuses after 9 holes and called it a day. That was my Dalmuir experience. Nobody's interested. This isn't a golf podcast. Nobody cares. But I just thought I would say why Gareth Bale probably won't be heading to Dalmuir when he does come.
Yeah. Ali Quinn gets in touch. You have your shotgun with you. William's had enough of our golf chat, Johnny. So
sorry, William.
Yeah, I think we'll move on. Just before we go, everybody, there's a picture yesterday doing the rounds, Johnny, that will enthuse every single Rangers supporter of Alfredo Morelos doing an exercise in the gym. Surely not. Surely he's not going to come back for Wednesday. But it's great. It's great to see him back, getting obviously doing his rehab. It was a great sight to see.
Yeah, and listen, obviously he's not going to make the game. I mean, that would be the most incredible heel turn in history, wouldn't it? If Alfredo Morelos stomps out the buffalo at his back, And the thing is, see any player after being out for that length of time to just come in and be good. Morelos is the man, isn't he? Because
he looked good to me in that video.
He did look good. He did look good. But I don't think you would gamble on him, would you? Let's be honest.
No.
Especially the way Rangers are playing. But it's great to see him back in the gym. I think the one thing that everyone wants to see when it comes to Alfredo Morelos is a new contract signed. He's only got a year left. Nobody wants his Rangers love story to end that way with a horrible injury. And the guy was barely been injured in his entire career. But I thought he looked in really good nick. As Susan is saying there, looks like he's very trim and ready to rock and roll. He'll know himself. It's a huge summer. He either signs that deal or he's going to be on his way, isn't he? Rangers are not going to let him walk out the door given his value.
Yeah.
I just hope that he puts pen to paper. And you know what, Derek? I'm confident. I'm confident that Alfredo Morelos might fancy hanging around for maybe another couple of seasons.
Oh, yeah.
He might not stay for a couple of seasons more. He might just stay for next season. But I wouldn't be that shocked if he did sign another deal. I believe he enjoys life in Scotland, settled here. He's got the young child now with his wife, and he loves the adulation of the fans. He's not going to get that anywhere else, that's for sure. Not to the same extent.
Yeah.
The team that he was going to go to was remind me who it was. It wasn't Nice. It was £16.5 million offer. Can't remember who it was. It's a French team. Anyway,
Lille, was it?
Lille, that's the one. Thank you, Derek. Both of us have got baby brains, even though you don't have a baby. But there you go. Lille, I mean, they're a decent sized club in France and all that, but it's not exactly the kind of madness you see here. So I would think that probably Morelos, let's be honest, won't get that kind of adulation if he goes to a club like that. So I think everyone would like to see him sign a new deal, and you've just got to hope. Everyone in the comments is saying, Lille.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Thanks, folks.
And there's a comment as well, Ali Haji as well. Yeah, I did see an image of him doing some rehab work. Again, great to see. He's been a big miss for Rangers. There's no question about it. His creativity has been badly missed. Although, like many, he's had a sort of indifferent season domestically. But yeah, he's another one I can't wait to see back in a Rangers jersey. And with regards to Morelos, I mean, if Rangers can win on Wednesday, then there's Champions League football next season. Why would you want to leave that as a that's
huge.
Yeah, that's a big selling point, really. Okay, I think that'll do us there. Thanks to Ross for this nice comment coming in. Just signed up to the website. Remember, we've got that sensational offer on just now, folks, where it's just £6 for 6 months worth of content. So just £1 a month. Just head over to rangersreview.co.uk/subscribe. Now, not only that, you also get entered into a prize draw for 2 tickets to the Europa League final on Wednesday. So head over to rangersreview.co.uk/subscribe for all the details. And I've seen some comments coming in of actual current subscribers who should receive an email with details about how to enter as well. If you've not received that email, then the best person to contact, Johnny, is it yourself on Twitter?
Yeah, contact the Rangers Review. The DMs are open there on Twitter. But what I would say, guys, is 99% of people that have been getting in touch haven't checked their inbox, the junk mail, or whatever filter you use, if it's spam or whatever your folder is called. Check in there, because quite often it's been going in there. However, you should be having it. So if you haven't, get in touch and we'll get you a link, because this is for all our subscribers, Derek. We've shelled out a lot of Buna, a lot of readies to get these 2 tickets, because we desperately want to send one person in the Rangers family the gift of a lifetime and send them off to Seville. So it's open to everyone that's a subscriber. So it's not just the new guys. So get your name in the hat, please. We desperately want to make somebody really, really happy first thing on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, Yeah, nice comment coming from Steely FM as well. Amazing content for paying so little. You were practically giving it away, folks. Just head over, got some great content on the website. Likewise, today, all the fallout from yesterday's media day, and we'll have. Me and Joshua are heading out to Seville on Sunday, so we'll bring you. You'll be awash with content. There'll be comments streaming out your ears. There'll be so much stuff.
Derek, it was a very popular yesterday when Joshua told about his mad trip to Seville. I don't know if you're fully aware of this young man's crazy journey. He's going to Menorca, then to Madrid, then by bus to Seville at 10 p.m, gets in at 4:30. Have you got quite a crazy a journey?
Mine's is much more smoother than that. I'm Manchester, which is about a 20-minute car drive away, although I've heard that the security is so bad you're queuing outside into the car park at Manchester Airport. So I think I need to leave just now to make my flight. But from there, Manchester to Nantes, and then to Nantes to Seville, and then heading back the way, bus to Malaga, Brussels to Manchester. But some of the stories you hear of Rangers fans travelling, Johnny, it's mind-blowing. I heard a guy that's going to Marrakesh, and then Ibiza, and then to Madrid, and then down. I mean, it really is.
He's going to Africa.
He's going to another continent to go to the Rangers game.
That's brilliant, mate. Yeah, like mere countries like you're going to France, you're going to Belgium,
a little pit stop.
He's going to a different continent, mate. That is what you call serious chops.
Yeah, absolutely. And to the folks that are heading out there, myself and Joshua will be in Seville between Monday and Thursday. So if you're in there, just come and holler, have a wee chat to us as well. Really much appreciate it. But until then, of course, enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend. And if you're heading to Seville, safe travels. And we'll be back with you. We'll be live from Seville come Monday. But until then, enjoy.